Greetings, fellow YouTuber. My name is Tim. Greetings, fellow YouTuber. My name is Tim. It's Friday night, and you know what that means. It is time for the internet's favorite hour of wasted time, that slap heap we like to call GainerWorld Live. My name is Tim Gainer. Thank you so much for joining me. I certainly do appreciate it as we kick off another weekend in style, I like to think anyway. Lots of things going on. If you are new to our little thing here and you're wondering what the heck this is all about, what it's about is absolutely nothing. That's what happens. We actually kind of hang around amongst ourselves. We talk amongst ourselves. We talk about news and what's going on in life, and we do it all right here. You see that right there? Yes, right there, that little chat right there. That is if you're watching live, that is the YouTube chat that would be over there. But it's not over there. Now, is it? No, because we care about you. We care about the neck usage. We care about your spine. So we put it right there so you can read along with us and have a lot of fun. But there's all kinds of things going on, and I know everybody's asking the big question right now, as even Lost Pages, Ricky Lyons popping in. Happy Friday to you, Ricky. Certainly do appreciate you stopping by. And I know everybody's asking the same question. What the hell is going on with Hugs 24/7 Radio? Because as we are talking right now, it's off the air. Well, here's what's going on. As Noreen Henry pops in to say hi. Hello, Noreen. Always good to see you as well. Glad to see you around. Here's the situation. Earlier this afternoon, Friday, we had a power surge here. And basically what it did was it pretty much knocked out the... what can I tell you? It knocked out the entire Hugs complex. And if you're thinking for some reason that we have this gigantic complex that's going on in some bunker in the middle of nowhere, no. This is what you're looking at right here. This is Hugs. This is what you're looking at. And right now we are in the process of rebooting a dual-core processor. Yeah, this thing's going back to about 2006. So yeah, it's going to take a while. This thing has rebooted a couple of times. It's still kind of working in real time here. And yeah, it's going to be a little while. So I know we've got a lot of special programming going on with the station, October Madness, got the top 10 coming up and all of that. We ask you, please just be patient, okay? We're doing the best we can, and we're working as hard as we can.
For duty and humanity.
So we'll do everything that we can for you to get it up there. We're trying. That's the best I can tell you right now, that we're trying. So yeah. So thank you very much for your thank you very much for your patience as we try to get Hugs back on the air. We're going to get it up as soon as we can. Anyway, so what else is going on in the world? Well, let's see. I need a little bit of help from you, fellow YouTuber, because as you might hear, if you're an audiophile, or even if you're not, you might hear the fact that we're dealing with new equipment this evening. There's actually a new microphone that we're kind of testing out here to see if it is acceptable to the masses, as it were. So, pardon me. So let me know what you think of it. How does it sound? Does it sound good? Is it grating? Is it irritating? Should we put the old one back? Should we just get off the air altogether? A lot of people will probably end up saying that. But yeah, let me know what you think. New mic, do you like it? Do you not like it? If you like it, we keep it. If we don't like it, we chuck it and put the old one back. And if you don't like the old one, well, we'll figure something out. Do what we can to annoy you overall. So yeah, let's get things started as we always do every week. And you know what that means. Yes, it is. Pull out your scorecards, kids. It's time for the Deadpool report. Let's get into it, shall we? You may not know that face that you're looking at, but people in Chicago certainly do. Football fans certainly do. And boy, what a surprise this was. This is one you didn't see coming. That's for sure. But yeah. Former Chicago Bear, Football Hall of Famer, number 51, Dick Butkus, a.k.a. Super Crunch. Possibly one of the best, meanest, fiercest, most competitive linebackers to ever play the game of football. Passed away yesterday at the age of 80. His family confirmed that Butkus died peacefully in his sleep overnight in his home in Malibu. The Bears said that in a statement. They're saying that the Butkus family is gathering with Dick's wife, Helen. They appreciate your prayers and support, the Bears said in a statement. According to our friends at NBC, old Super Crunch was a native of Chicago. He graduated from the University of Illinois. I did not know that. I didn't know that he was an IU graduate. He helped the team win a Rose Bowl victory at UI and was a first-round draft pick by the Bears in 1965. He was a native of Chicago. He played for the Bears for 9 seasons from 1965 to 1973. Imagine, if you will, a world where Dick Butkus and the great Gale Sayers were on the same team. Yes, it happened. Butkus had an amazing record, 25 fumble recoveries, 22 interceptions, and he literally just put the fear of God into people. He was just one of the greatest characters in football. Super Crunch, the robot of destruction, the enforcer, the animal, the maestro of mayhem. I mean, these are just some of the nicknames that he had. He was picked by the Bears the first round of the draft in 1965 and was inducted into the Hall of Fame, as a matter of fact. He also, after he retired in 1973, he also had a couple of years on the big screen, believe it or not. He actually was in Any Given Sunday, playing a coach, Oliver Stone's film, 1999. He played himself in a cameo in Gremlins 2, The New Batch, in 1990. He played Earl Dent in MacGyver. Remember that one? Yep. And as a matter of fact, even Cyrus Gray has popped in to say, men were men and in the grass rule was for the cheerleaders. Yeah, okay. Oh, the NFL. There's also the story, as long as we're talking about him, there's also the story, and we need to clear this up. There was a legend that kind of followed him around, that kind of loomed. It was kind of over his... Okay, so he played a game in 1971, October of 1971, at Tiger Stadium. They were playing the Detroit Lions. And the Lions wide receiver, Chuck Hughes, about a minute to play in the game. The Bears won 28-23, but that's not what's important. He'd run a pass route on a play. It was an incomplete pass, and he jogged back to that by jogging. I mean Chuck Hughes of the Lions, jogged back to the huddle and fell face first onto the 15-yard line. Now, the picture that you're looking at was the picture that was taken right when that happened. And to his discredit, everybody thought that Butkus had hit him. That Butkus was the linebacker that hit him. And as a result, knocked him out. What you're looking at is Butkus looking over. And then suddenly, and you don't see it in the picture, obviously, but what happened was he started calling for medical attention for Hughes. And he started frantically waving, according to Vintage Detroit. This is the story. He started frantically waving his hands, signaling for help. The team physicians came out. They were joined by a fan, a doctor, and as a matter of fact, he'd already started to turn blue when they got his helmet off. But and unfortunately, he died. That's the whole point behind all of this. Unfortunately, Chuck Hughes died on the field. He was like the first real casualty of the NFL. And for years, Dick Butkus had been wrongly accused of killing Chuck Hughes, and it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. He was truly anybody, and people that knew him just, George McCaskey, pardon me, the Bears chairman, said, and this is a quote, he had a gruff manner, and that's what kept people from approaching him, but he actually had a very soft touch. As a matter of fact, he afterwards, after he retired, had a mission of ridding performance-enhancing drugs from the sports and promoting heart health. So, it's kind of a shame that it happened to him. He was gone way too soon. He was definitely a force to be reckoned with, and from what I understand, a heck of a great guy. The late, great Dick Butkus, Super Crunch, number 51 for the Chicago Bears, gone at the age of 80. On top of that, if that's not enough for you, unfortunately, we also lost in the music world one of the great pioneers. By one of the great pioneers, I'm referring to drummer Ron Howden of Nectar. If you don't know who Nectar is, Nectar was one of the bands that really, really helped shape progressive rock in the early 70s. He was the drummer for the band, and he passed away the other day at the age of 78, according to Louder Sound. Fellow bandmate and founder guitarist Derek Moore confirmed the news on social media. Apparently, he had endured various health problems in recent years, including battling and beating cancer in 2016. Nectar was one of those bands that, like I said, this is an incredible album that you're looking at right there. Remember the Future from 1973. That was pretty much when they reached their peak, as far as I'm concerned anyway. Just an amazing, amazing band. They had, of course, other albums. Their 1970 debut album, Journey to the Center of the Eye. Another great album, A Tab in the Ocean, which was really good. And, but yeah, Remember the Future kind of broke them into the U.S., despite the fact that they were British. But they were really huge in Germany. That much I can tell you. They were huge in Germany. They broke up in 1978, but got back together in the 80s. Then the original lineup played Nearfest here in the States in 2002. And they actually had released this new studio album, The Other Side, in 2020, and were working on new music right before Ron died. So it's again, it's a real shame that it happened. In his statement, Mo Moore said, and this is a quote again from Louder Sound, "It's with a heavy heart I have to tell you that my friend and rhythm section partner for 60 years, Ron Howden, passed on to the great gig in the sky. He was with us on Sunday when we jammed on new music at Reich's house. We had a great day with him. Plans were made for the future. record the record of new music, get it out, maybe a short tour in the spring to support it. Don't know where that stands now that he's gone, but I know he was a big part of it on Sunday. Frankly, I'm heartbroken. I can't imagine a world without Ron. He'd been battling different health problems, including cancer, since 2016, and beat it all back and survived each occurrence. Chemotherapy knocked him out, but he played through it all. So, yeah, shame that it happened. Shame that it happened. One of the true innovators in progressive rock music. Ron Howden, dead at the age of 78. And that's two too many, and that's enough. That's the Deadpool report, y'all. Let's take a look at the tote board here. Let's see what we've got here. Norton Henry popped in. Apparently Cyrus is listening. What else is he going to do? I'm kidding. I'm looking at, let's check. See, this is the cool part about this show, because now you can actually get a live update on what we're doing as far as getting the station back on the air. So let's take a look here, shall we? Yep, it's restarting. Yes, it is. We're doing okay. Don't you worry about a thing. We are going to get it back on the air. Don't you worry about that. So, that's what's going on. Host 24/7 is off the air. We're trying to get it back on the air as fast as we can. So, what else is happening? We were gone last week. And, so what else did we miss? I'll tell you what we missed. Well, the writer's strike is over, which I guess is a good thing. After 146 days, the second longest in Hollywood history, the Writers Guild of America, according to Vox, and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, or as we say in the business, MTIP, they announced that an agreement had been reached on Tuesday, September the 26th, and the union's leadership announced that they'd voted to end the strike and recommend that the membership vote in favor of ratifying the contract. That ended on Wednesday, September 27th, after 148 days. There you go. So the writer's strike is over. There's just one small problem with that. And even though, and it's great the strike is over, I'm really glad. But, as a matter of fact, in case you didn't notice, SAG-AFTRA is still out. So it really doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter if the writers start writing again, because let's face it, SAG-AFTRA, they're still on strike. So if you can write all you want, but there's nobody going to act it. However, though, they did meet today. That is to say, members of SAG-AFTRA and MTIP. And they're supposed to meet again on Monday, according to a joint statement. It's like everybody really wants to get back to work, but it's really well, leading the talks, as you well know, is SAG-AFTRA president and Perky Emmy Award-winning actress Fran Drescher. She's leading the talks, and Carol Lombardini is the president of Antip. She's representing the producers, and apparently they are really, they're almost close to an agreement, from what I understand, and it's significant from what I'm being told. So it may be very soon that we'll be seeing the end of this. And here's hoping. I mean, this has gone on long enough, but yeah, let's. Okay, so the strike is not going to be without residual damage. And one of the principal people, although I think she kind of brought it on herself, to be honest with you, is Drew Barrymore. Drew, she's getting ready to return to her show, that perky Drew Barrymore show. But there's some of the principal writers have chosen not to return to their gig. You might remember last month she announced that her daytime talk show was going to make its fourth season debut without the writers while they were out on strike. Yeah. Bad move, Drew. Because a week later, she faced all kinds of backwash. And there was a few guest cancellations. And she reversed course, saying that, yeah, okay, we'll wait until the show's over. We'll wait until the strike's over, rather, to bring the show back. But now the strike's over. It's supposed to come back November 16th. And 3 of her head writers, Chelsea White, Christina Kinnan, and Liz Coe, declined their offer to return. So the production is now interviewing new writers, and of course they have to be in compliance with the guild. So they were very vocal about their unhappiness about Drew bringing the show back. Drew scoring, doing the scab thing. On September 11th, which was the show's first day back in production, they had told the Hollywood Reporter that they'd found out that Drew was returning, not from their bosses or colleagues, but rather audience ticket giveaways that had been posted on social media. Wow. That hurts. It's a bummer to hear that the show is going back because it sends a message that union writers are not valuable. Chelsea White told the Hollywood Reporter that morning. And Christina Kinnan also said, I understand that everybody has to do what they feel is best for them. For me and the WGA writers on the show, it's important for us to stick with our union. We deserve a fair contract, and we're out here today. So, yeah. So, apparently there's casualties afoot in the world of even Drew Barrymore, who, October 6th. Is it October 6th or October 11th? They will be there. And let's check the tote board. Hey, from Bakersfield, says James Graciano. James, how you doing? Always good to see you, my friend. Love Megan Paulette, and Megan loves you. I can say that honestly. She's going to kill me when she sees the show. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on there. And so other things that have gone on, as you know, we can we sing a song? We're not set up for it this week. Unfortunately, I'm really sorry about that, James. We are not set up for that. A few people have been asking about that, but we're going to, maybe in the next week or two, we'll be setting up for that. Right now, as I'm sure you can probably tell, that we're in the middle of crisis mode right now, because as you can see, we are trying to get Hugs Radio back on the air, as you can tell. And just so everybody knows, it's in restarting mode right now. So we're okay there. We're going to be all right. Hugs will be back on as soon as possible. So that's why we're not set up for that, James. Yeah, sorry about that, my man. Hopefully next week. But then you can always go to timgainer.com and download his latest album, Honor Among Thieves, available now on all the streaming services and at timgainer.com on CD and vinyl. So, and speaking of music, because, Jen says the sunrise also fell. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Which you can also hear on, Hugs Radio as soon as we get it back on the air. So, Look, we're doing the best we can, okay?
What do I know?
Anyway, speaking of music, James is also saying Alyssa Hankey is fire. Dude, one of my favorite female artists, I gotta say. Every time I head out east to Pennsylvania, I really, hope to get a chance to see her, but I never can because I'm usually so busy with all kinds of different things. But yeah, I can understand where you're coming from with that. I really can. This is October, as we all know. And when it comes to October, we have to give you this public statement that it is October, therefore, the Mariah Carey defrosting process has begun. Now, you may be saying to yourself right about now, Gainer, what does that have to do with reality? Well, it's good to know that in this day that the, how shall we say, the, quote, Queen of Christmas, end quote, may be rising from the ashes, there's a little bit of competition going on this year. Now, you may be asking yourself right about now, Gainer, who could possibly compete with Mariah on the holidays? Yes, it's true. According to the Daily Mail, Cher has confirmed that she is set to release her first ever Christmas album. Can you stand it? I know I can't. Yeah. She shared this festive news last week, Thursday, presenting the artwork for the LP as seen here. And she asked her 3.9 million followers, according to the Daily Mail, quote, "Are you spending Christmas with me?" A lot of people replied with a lot of excitement and relief because they don't have to put up with this all season. One fan tweeted in response to the news, "Sorry, Mariah, I'm with Cher this Christmas." Obviously, we all know Mariah's hit, "All I Want for Christmas Is You," back in 1994, and it's become probably as big a staple as White Christmas. But Cher's going to change all that, allegedly. Because a second fan wrote on social media, "Mariah better watch out. Cher is going to take over Christmas." And another joke, "Take a seat, Mariah. Cher is coming for Christmas." Now, here's the part that I don't understand. There's going to be all kinds of duets on this thing. But is it me now, or is everybody who, like all the big stars, like we know that Dolly's doing it, and now Cher's doing it, where she's got different types of covers for the different types of formats, I guess. I guess there's one where, for the vinyl, one for the CD, one for the streaming. But according to she said on Good Morning Britain this week, and this is Sherilyn Sarkisian, Bono, Allman. She said, and this is a quote, "I'm really proud of this. It's a Cher Christmas album." Go figure. "It's not your mother's Christmas album." Yeah, no, I really don't think that is going to be the case, actually. I'm really excited because there's millions of people on it. I've never had duets. I've never had people on any of my records. This was a last minute thing, but they're all special. All of them. Now, obviously, this is not the first time that somebody has released a Christmas album. And we all know this, okay? I mean, come on. Sia, Kylie Minogue, Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift, Casey Musgraves, Gwen Stefani, Kelly Clarkson. Hell, Justin Bieber recorded a Christmas album, okay? Whitney, you might remember that one. 2003, Whitney Houston, the One Wish album. So, yeah. In fact, the only one that I can think of that hasn't made a Christmas album is Madonna. Which I don't think that's a good idea. Apparently she doesn't need the commercial opportunity in that. But yeah, there you have it. Coming out this year. Move over, Mariah. As a new queen of Christmas. And her name is Cher. God almighty. Would you buy something like that? Let me know. Talk to me in the comments here. Or if you're watching the replay, talk to me in the comments down below. We would love to hear from you. Because it is getting to be that time of year. I can tell you honestly, today, here in the great city of Chicago, that it's cold and it's rainy. Just the typical Chicago fall that you'd expect. And speaking of divas, speaking of people that you would rather probably not see. One of the things, obviously, that has happened over the years, and I'm not really sure how to take this, quite honestly. But over the years, there are people that have well, how can I say this? Over the years, Mattel has brought out Barbie dolls. Okay, and we all know about this. Okay, I mean, there's so many people that have been made Barbie dolls over the years. In fact, a few months ago, you might remember, we talked about Tina Turner. About a year ago this time, as a matter of fact, we talked about Tina Turner being turned into a Barbie doll. Which is okay. You know, I don't mind it. But I think we're getting a little over the top here. We're getting a little over the top because, according to WGN, Channel 9, Chicago's very own, there is now, get ready for this, a Barbie doll made in the likeness of Stevie Nicks. You heard right. In honor of Stevie's current U.S. tour, Mattel is celebrating her legacy straight down to the dress that you see here from the Rumors album, the iconic Rumors album. And there's her very own Barbie music collector doll. There she is. A representative of Mattel explained on its decision, quote, as the lead singer of Fleetwood Mac, and I'm sure that Christine McVie and Lindsey Buckingham would love to talk about that one. In a critically acclaimed chart-topping solo act, Stevie Nicks has been a major influence and source of inspiration and adoration for audience and artists around the world, especially to women in the rock and roll industry. Allegedly, Stevie had a hand in designing this doll, working, according to WGN, quote, closely with the Barbie team to ensure the doll was an accurate reflection of her features, style, and persona on stage. Okay, you tell me. You tell me. Even that picture is even Stevie going, okay, guys, nice try, but I think we dropped the ball on this one. Okay? Yeah. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Now, to the correct end, the doll's dress is inspired by, as we said before, it's inspired by the very famous dress that she wore when they recorded Rumors back in '77. So she, they put they put the Welsh witch thing together. Okay. And, it doesn't look too bad, I guess. But, yeah. So, Stevie Nicks. She's a doll. And her bewitching look, according to WGN, is finished off by the black boots, a moon-shaped necklace, and a ribbon-adorned tambourine. Which she would only wear. I don't remember her wearing that live. I remember her wearing it on Fleetwood Mac. She definitely did that. If you watch the dance video, she's definitely out like that. And by the way, the Stevie Nicks Barbie doll is available for sale right now. Mattel's official site. Priced at $55 for a Barbie doll. Even Stevie's going, you gotta be kidding me. But there you have it. And rumor has it, the pre-sale, because these are going to be available soon, but the pre-sale is, it's already sold out. There's another story that I read that she teased everybody. How's this for marketing? Try this for marketing. She teased everybody that she was going to have, well, she played Madison Square Garden about a week ago. And she told everybody that there would be a special guest. Now, the first thing everybody was thinking of is, oh, Lindsey Buckingham's going to be there. If you've been following that story, the words fat chance kind of falls into play. But she pulls out the special guest. The lights go dark. She comes up holding the doll. People are spending $200, $300 to go see Stevie Nicks and her special guest, a Barbie doll. I don't know. Elena Kazvinsky stopped in. Hello, Elena. That means the Danimal, oh yeah, is there as well. Always glad to hear that. Also, yeah, I'm going to ask again because we're testing out new equipment here on the show. So we've got a new mic here. Tell me what you think. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Does it suck? Let me know in the comments. I'd appreciate it. But yeah, James Graciano, would you listen to this mic while I sang The Sunrise Also Fell? You let me know, sir. Because this is your show. We do this for you. That's right, you. No, I didn't poke you in the eye. Shut up. One thing we do have to talk about. One thing we do have to talk about. Now, if you're a regular viewer to the show, you realize that we were gone last week. Called away. But we're back. And one thing that we learned was that there's new foods coming out. Well, not new foods. But when you think about food, I don't know. If you're like me, there's only one thing that you do think about. And of course, that is McDonald's. Again, I turn to our friends at Chicago's very own Channel 9, WGN. Because that's a station I can trust. And they write, and rightfully so, because you and I, fellow YouTuber, we have been duped. We have been hornswoggled, flim-flammed, bamboozled, because we were led to believe that the Golden Arches, McDonald's, Mickey D's, the home of Ronald and the Hamburglar, was retiring the McRib. But no! Oh no! Despite their farewell tour for the McRib sandwich last year, McDonald's has confirmed the sandwich's return next month to, quote, select restaurants, end quote. The statement from McDonald's reads, and I quote, "It turns out not everyone was ready to say goodbye to the McRib after last year's farewell tour. While it won't be available nationwide," let me repeat that statement because it's kind of important that we all understand this. It won't be available nationwide, but some lucky fans may find their favorite elusive saucy sandwich at their local McDonald's restaurants this November. We've been lied to, fellow YouTuber. We have been lied to. And I realize the fact that this is like a matter of just taste. Okay, that this is one of those things that you either love it or you hate it. Okay. The sandwich debuted, just so you know, in Kansas City in 1981. It's had a cult following for literally years after that, for decades, as a matter of fact. It was right up there, one of those elusive treats right up there with the McSteak sandwich. Remember that? The McDonald's steak sandwich? Yeah, how long did that last? Bit into that thing and you heard Secretariat in the background. But it was just, it was one of those things. And Elena has now retracted her message. She didn't want to say hi. What did I do? What do I do here? Mike Bullington, the senior archives manager for McDonald's, said in a 2021 press release that the McRib was designed to be enjoyed during the colder seasons, which makes sense because really, it usually comes out in like the late fall, early winter, which makes sense. They had revealed that the sandwich infrequently appears on its restaurant menus because it's a local option based on customer demand. This is according to a 2017 tweet from the company. Now, a representative from McDonald's did not say where the sandwich will be available during its upcoming November run, or if that information, or when that information will be made public. Yeah. But If you don't know what a McRib is, like I said, it's a selective taste. It really is. Some people love them. Some people hate them. I'm kind of on the fence. I just kind of, you know. Would I eat them every day? No. But they're okay. It's a seasoned boneless pork sandwich dipped in tangy barbecue sauce, slivered onions, and dill pickles, all sandwiched inside a toasted bun. According to Eat This, Not That. But some folks just say it's junk food in its finest essence. Others say it's gross. A lot of people say it's overrated. But as you can tell, the fence is kind of divided on this. One fan wrote on X, or Twitter, or whatever the heck we're calling it this week, it's back. It's back. So yeah. So there you have it. Coming up very soon to hopefully a restaurant near you. The McRib. Can you stand it? I know I can't. Very strange things going on here. Elena is saying, checking the tote board right about here, even though she retracted her original message. I don't know why you would want to retract a message saying hi, but that's okay, Elena. I understand. Unrelated to music, Lionel Messi was scheduled to play on Wednesday night. Folks spent all kinds of money to see him, but at the last minute we learned he wouldn't play. 69,000 fans paid real money. Now, I'm not going to say anything about that until I hear all the information. There could be a very, very good reason why he wouldn't play. It's very possible he might have gotten sick. It's possible the COVID scare might have gotten to him. There's really any number of reasons why he wouldn't play. Now, if he just got up in the morning and just went, what the heck with this, I'm not going to play, then yeah, you got a problem. You got a real problem. And I would demand refunds. In fact, if I was a promoter, I'd probably sue him for that. But let's not jump to conclusions until, and I mean, I understand your trepidation as well. The show must go on. I get it. But I don't know too many people that live by that anymore. I really don't. I can think of more stories off the top of my head of people just kind of going, I don't want to do it tonight. And the first two names that jumped into my head were Axl Rose and Sly Stone. If anybody remembers when Sly Stone was supposed to play a free concert at Grant Park in 1970, was it? 69, 70? Yeah, and he just kind of went, I ain't gonna do it, man. And the riot that ensued? Yeah. Axl, chain smoking 3 packs of cigarettes a day and deciding that he doesn't want to sing because his throat hurts. All kinds of things. There's all kinds of things that, yeah. It's not the way it used to be. But again, I'm reserving judgment of that until I know what the actual details are. And if it turned out that he wimped out and just went, I don't want to do it, have the promoter sue him. Have the venue sue him. You don't do that. And you're right. 69,000 people paying big time money. So we'll see what happens. Speaking of big time people and musicians, one of the things that we talked about a couple of weeks ago was the new Stones album, Hackney Diamonds. This is their first album of original music in almost 20 years. I think the last album of original music was A Bigger Bang and that was 2009, 2008. Okay, so it's been a long time since Mick and the guys have gotten together and made some new music. And you would think that they probably had a hard time doing it, what with Charlie Watts being gone now. But they brought in Steve Jordan for drums, and at Charlie's behest, by the way. Of course, they've got the great Daryl Jones, a nice Chicago guy, playing bass for them. And they've released their second single from this particular track. They had it's really a good song. I have to admit this. The track is called "Sweet Sounds of Heaven," and it's a gospel tinge. I would recommend that you go to YouTube and check this out because it is a pretty good song, to be sure. And it is made even better by the fact that there's a couple of people that are guesting on this track, and those two people are, get ready for this, Stevie Wonder, who plays piano, and Lady Gaga, who sings backup. How good do you have to be that you've got Lady Gaga singing backup for you? Okay? You've got to hear this track. It's really, really good. It's really good. It's a gospel kind of a thing. Of course, you know, when you throw Stevie Wonder into any kind of gospel blues tinge song, playing piano the way he does, it's a winner right there. And the story goes that Gaga was recording across the hall from where Mick and the guys were recording the track. And she knew the producer, Andrew Watt. And she asked producer, she asked him, and she had sang with them on a couple of occasions, on a couple of shows, as a matter of fact, in one of their tours. In I think 2016. And she just asked, can I, pop in and say hi to Mick? Mick was recording this track. And the story goes that she just kind of curled up at his feet while he was singing and just started vamping. And the guys liked what they heard, and they turned around and they said, let's do this again. And they added her. In some cases, I don't know. I want to say in some cases she kind of over-delivers. And when you hear something like that, the first thing, of course, you think of is Mary Clayton and what she did when she sang, the backup on Give Me Shelter. But I have to admit, she does an absolutely admirable job. She does a great job. And the whole thing was improv. They did a couple of takes, they improv'd it, and they said, let's keep it. And so there you have it. So Lady Gaga just kind of showed up out of nowhere. And she does, like I said, she does an admirable job. A little too much in a couple of places. But yeah, that's kind of how it is. In fact, Noreen Henry popping in and saying, Gaga is used to singing with really old men. Someone has to replace Tony Bennett in her life. Yeah, I guess, And she's got a daddy complex. What can I tell you? But yeah, and apparently, and you can really tell when, and this is no knock on Steve Jordan's drumming whatsoever, because I love Steve Jordan. I really do. I've followed him since I discovered him playing with Paul Schaefer on David Letterman's old show. He played on Keith Richards' solo albums. Played with Sting for a little while. He's a beast. He's an absolute beast. I just love him to death. But there's a difference with any drummer, and there's, of course, a difference between Charlie Watts and Steve Jordan. But Steve does an incredible job. He really does. So, yeah, I would strongly recommend it. I would truly recommend it that if you get a chance, check that out. The new single from the Stones, Sweet Sounds of Heaven. A couple of people, a couple of countries have already released it, and I guess it's already gone to like, top 5. So yeah, and of course, November 11th is when that album's coming out as well. We got a couple of minutes, so let's do this. We haven't done this in a long time. I think we should do this because we haven't, and we can. And that's the last 4 letters of the word American. I can. It's time to play What's Your Sign? Let's get into it, kids. Come on. Everywhere a sign. So, you see things, and you think to yourself that somebody actually thought one day that it would be a good idea to advertise the medicine, shall we say, the medicinal art of laser hair removal by using the phone number 713 Are You Hairy? Yeah. Somebody was at work one day and thought that was a good idea. This is one that I'm sure that they're probably going to put in a lot of city parks. I know some of the neighbors have already. And since it's, people are shutting down their pools, but I think we'll get you ready for next year. Welcome to our ool. Please notice there's no pee in it. Let's keep it that way. Sounds like a perfectly reasonable request to me. You go to a bar. You wonder to yourself, maybe, nice flaming rum punch. Then no. They think about family night, and they suggest to you, treat your mom to a margarita. You're probably the reason she drinks. If that's not a reason for you to drink too, I don't know what is. And then there's signs in the workplace. There's signs in the workplace, and you have to wonder who this sign is skewed to. When you read, "Caution, this machine has no brain, use your own." Who is this for? Who is this for? You really have to revisit your hiring practices if that's the case. Meanwhile, in Texas, somebody had a great idea. Speed limit, 69. Just kidding, 35. They must have let the high school visit the prison that day, and one kid got in there, and you got to practice because you want to get ready for the future. One more. I love this. Somebody saw this on some guy's house. No trespassing. Violators will be shot. Survivors will be shot again. I think that pretty much sums it up, don't you? That's this week's What's Your Sign, y'all? Everywhere a sign. Everywhere a sign. Right. We've lost his mind, ladies and gentlemen. We're just going to start pushing buttons and just start going crazy all over the place. Anyway, as you can tell from the It's time to get out of here. Not a moment too soon. We are going to get Hugs 24/7 back on the air as soon as we can. Please be patient. Thank you for joining us. Certainly do appreciate it. Thanks everybody that was in the chat. Thank you for watching. If you're watching the replay, we're on the drive for 500 because I have no life. Thank you. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. We'll see you next week. We out. Bye!